Welcome to Latte with a Lawyer, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the stories of some of America's most successful lawyers, figuring out what makes them tick, how they creatively solve problems, and how others aspiring to be them can follow in their footsteps.
Okay, folks, welcome to another episode of Latte with a Lawyer. I'm your host, Jonathan Brickman, and this afternoon, I think it's this afternoon, we have with us Sarah Boulden from Denver, Colorado, with the firm Silicon Legal Strategy. Nice to have you.
Nice to be here. Thanks, Jonathan.
Oh, you're welcome. So just to keep with the theme of the show, Latte with a Lawyer, what's your morning beverage of choice?
I try to drink a lot of water, but also I have two small kids, so black coffee as well.
Excellent. Yeah. Two small kids will do it to you. I remember those days as we were chatting. Now they're not small kids anymore. They're big kids. So you'll get there someday.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll go by really fast.
Yeah. So tell us about the kind of work you do.
I am a corporate lawyer. I work with technology startups and venture capital investors who back them. So I'm outside general counsel to tech startups from all the way from formation through acquisition.
Nice. And all VC backed companies?
Predominantly, yeah. Most of our clients at least hope to be VC backed. Sometimes we have clients with outstanding revenue, so they can bootstrap and keep going that way, but most of them are VC backed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, VC, people sometimes stretch the definition of that word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pure venture capital means, right, you're looking for the outlier, the big win, right? The unicorn.
Yeah.
So have you had those in your portfolio?
Yeah. We were first counsel for Pinterest and Lyft and
oh, nice.
Companies like that. We rep Expensify and worked with TaskRabbit. So a lot of great companies.
Oh, fantastic. And coming out of Silicon Valley, I mean, Silicon. So is the firm started in Silicon Valley?
It is, yeah. We're headquartered in San Francisco and have formal offices in Los Angeles and Denver. So I started in our San Francisco office almost 10 years ago and then moved out to Denver.
Yeah. Why Denver? Just easier lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely easier to buy a house here. My husband and I both went to CU Law School, so loved Boulden and Denver and moved. We had family out here too, so it's a big draw. And there's a great startup scene too, and budding venture capital too.
Oh yeah. No, I know that. It's I've got quite a few friends who have startups in the Boulder, Denver area. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's much more democratized than it used to be, right?
It is, yeah. I think the pandemic just definitely accelerated that. It was already happening before, but there definitely are startups everywhere. I've got clients in Iowa and Austin and all over the place.
Yeah, everywhere. I live in South Florida, and I'm originally from Boston, which is a big, high-tech corridor, but even here, I mean, the money is moving down to Miami, South Florida, all up and down the coast.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's easier than ever, as you know, right, to start a business.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's all kinds of cool stuff coming. So like, give me an example. Let's drill down a little bit more in the kind of stuff you work on. Give us a better flavor of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So from formation, when a company is ready to get started, they have, their founding team, they want to figure out how much equity to grant to everyone, forming their stock pool, forming their board, doing all of the things you need to do to set the company up for success. Yep. So forming them as a Delaware corporation in most cases, then going on through, companies hiring employees, unfortunately in this market, firing employees, so helping with those employment matters, helping through their venture financings. That's the bread and butter of what we do. We're in the top 10 in PitchBook. Our boutique firm is alongside the huge firms like Gunderson. We're closing, 360 deals a year. So we do a ton of venture financings, both on the company side and then also for VCs. So we rep these venture capital firms who are, we've started with them and now some of them are on their 7th funds or 8th funds. Yep. So getting to see both sides of the transaction helps us be really well versed in the market terms and what's going on in financings these days, and then continuing on with the company. So as they grow, as they're getting customers, signing up with different vendors, all the way through their acquisitions, and hopefully there's a good exit for those companies. Some of my most rewarding clients are the ones that I have formed and then gotten to work with all through their life cycle, all the way through exit.
Oh, nice. Are you guys allowed to take any equity in these deals?
We don't.
You say with
So some firms choose to do it. We don't do it.
Yeah. Too bad, right? Yeah, no, it's interesting. So, I mean, what was I going to say? I'm trying to think. I'm at a loss for words here. I'm trying to think of what else I need to know about the kind of work you do. So, I mean, are you agnostic to industry, or is it across all industries, or do you focus on specific?
We focus on tech. So a
Okay.
variety of industries within that. I have several fintech clients, property tech, education tech, pretty open. We've had medical devices.
Okay.
Clean tech is certainly a big one, but as
Yeah.
long as it's sort of tech adjacent and in that venture capital space.
Is there anything specific, or is it just happens to be your focus? I mean, why focused on tech? Is there a body of knowledge that you have that's specific to it, where you can build?
Yeah, it's a great question. Definitely. From the commercial contract standpoint, SaaS agreements and master service agreements, that sort of thing. We certainly are familiar with that. VC companies, backed companies tend to be in the tech space.
Yep.
Certainly there's more expansion over time, but that's sort of where we've landed.
Okay. And then you do M&A as well?
We do. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everything from a small $1 million $1 million acquisition all the way through, $500 million. So we've worked on the whole range, all different structures and all different amounts.
Yeah. Well, what's the stuff you like? What's the most interesting part of it that you like?
Really, it's the whole life cycle, seeing a company grow. Certainly financings are exciting. As investor counsel, you're seeing all the different portfolio companies that VCs are investing in, and you get to see all of these budding companies. So from that perspective, it's great. From a company perspective, just seeing from the beginning of the company where they're just two founders, they have a great idea. Sometimes they're in a garage, sometimes they're in an accelerator. But seeing all of the traction and all of the growth over time is just the most exciting. Just to see how,
I mean, do you get them?
Up.
Do you get them at that very early stage, like two people in a garage?
Often, yeah.
You do?
Often that early. Sometimes we'll get them. A lot of companies these days are using all the platforms that exist.
Yeah. Y Combinator,
and Clerky and other ways to form. Yeah. So sometimes we'll get, after a company's gone through an accelerator like Y Combinator, Techstars, and sometimes we get them at Series A when they're really ready to raise funds. It's always nice to have a client early on, because then you make sure all the documents are clean. Sometimes if you get a client at Series A stage or later, you have to do a little more cleanup.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the cap tables can get pretty messy too, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're a pretty good barometer then of the market, right? So as we're going through this, I'm curious, like as we're going through this big economic shift here, are you seeing any change in the velocity or business formation?
Yeah. So it's good and bad. We definitely have more people who, with layoffs, with a lot of reduction in force, people are just deciding to start their own companies. So we are getting more really early stage clients. As far as VC financing, it stalled a little bit. It was a slower summer and early fall, just as people are trying to gauge what's going on in the market. More down rounds, more extensions of prior rounds, just to sort of make sure that their companies have enough runway to get through the next couple of years if they can.
Yeah.
M&A is still pretty hot, especially this quarter. It seems like it's picking up.
Oh, good.
Maybe not the ideal terms that companies
Yeah,
want,
right,
but a
right.
lot of them are still favorable.
Right. Yeah. The vultures are swooping in now to take advantage. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Runway. I mean, that's the critical, really the word, right? You gotta, as I like to say, you have to have enough gas in the tank to finish the journey, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the past few years have been so great, and VC funding has been so, prevalent that
Yes.
companies were aiming to have maybe 12 to 18 months. And now companies are trying to have 3 years of runway at least, just to make
Yeah.
sure that they can weather whatever storms are ahead.
Yeah. And you see compression on the valuations too, the multiples.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've been a little outsized the past few years too.
Yeah.
So some of that is just sort of getting back in line with what maybe the market needs, but definitely some lower valuations than we've seen.
Getting back to normal times.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pendulum always swings too far.
Yeah.
Either direction, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get through this quickly. But you guys are still staying very busy, and you still have lots of work to do.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, both sides. So in a recession, the people decide to start their own thing. It's time to take a leap. So there's definitely still a lot of startup activity. VCs still have, their funds that they need to deploy. So the rounds may be smaller, the valuations may be lower, but deals are definitely still happening.
Got it. And the deal flow, are you focused on West Coast, or do you take deals across the country?
Across the country, I'd say the majority are West Coast deals.
Yeah. And West Coast, meaning California, or are you getting
Yeah.
some from California? Okay.
Yeah. Though as you mentioned, startups are starting everywhere. So
Yeah.
a lot of, Pacific Northwest, a lot of Austin, a lot of East Coast as well.
Yeah, for sure. How many lawyers do you have at your firm?
25.
Okay. So is that considered a big firm, mid-size for a deal firm?
I think we've made the leap from boutique to mid-size.
Mid-size, okay. Yeah, I don't know what, you're not like an AM Law 100 firm, obviously, because you're a deal firm, but I don't know what the sizing would be for the kind of work you do.
Yeah, I don't know what the cutoff is, but it seems like at this point when I started, there were 5 attorneys. So we've
Oh,
definitely grown, and it's been great.
Oh, nice. Very nice. How many people do you have in your office?
The Denver office has 3, so we're a fairly small office.
Okay.
The LA office has 5 or 6 at this point. I think we just got our 6th employee there.
Oh,
and then the
good.
bulk of the folks are in San Francisco.
Okay, very good. Excellent. So just to tell us about your journey, like how you got started. It looks like you got an MBA as well, looking at your background, but how'd you make that decision to become a lawyer? Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, well, I come from a family of lawyers.
Okay.
My dad's a real estate attorney. My sister's a litigator. I resisted it for a while. I worked in book publishing right out of college for a little bit, and then decided to go back to grad school. I chose Colorado Boulder because it had such a strong entrepreneurial program. They have a lot of activities for both MBAs and lawyers. So they have a student-run venture fund. They have this program called the Silicon Flatirons, which is a great organization that supports entrepreneurs in the area and also looks at technology. Foundry Group is in Boulder. So it's just a really great opportunity to move to Boulder. It really accelerated my interest in startups.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I actually came to Silicon Legal through a client who was a friend of mine. Mentioned that I was looking for a summer job, and he said, "Oh, let me introduce you to my lawyer. He's great." So I met our managing partner, Andre Garakanian, worked for a summer in 2012, and then came back full time in 2013, and have been with the firm ever since.
Oh, nice. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, wow. So you've moved around quite a bit then, huh?
Yeah.
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 So Dallas and Boulder are very different places, right?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite different. In between, I was in Austin for about 7 years. So
Yeah.
Austin and Boulder are a little more similar.
Yeah. Similar. Yeah. Austin for sure. I lived in Dallas for half a year. I did an internship and worked for Texas Instruments,
Oh, nice.
Richardson. Yeah. So
Nice.
I got a taste of Dallas,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I know they're very different places. And you like Boulder? You like
I
living there?
like Boulder. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great town. It's nice to go into your backyard and you're on a trail.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Are you big skier, outdoors person?
I like being outdoors. I'm not a great skier. I'm more of
Oh
a
man.
scenic skier. I like to go slowly and stay
Okay.
on the greens and blues.
I'm with you. I think my wife has finally given up skiing. She's tried and tried and tried. I think she's done. I like to go out there at least once a year and ski.
My
It's
kids are just learning. They actually have in Denver these indoor skiing classes. So
oh really
they get
nice.
to try on the boots and get ready before there's even snow. So it's a cool
Oh,
thing.
that's great. Well, it won't be long before the snow out there. I know that,
Oh yeah.
right?
Normally around Halloween we get our first snow.
Oh, Halloween. Wow. So that's soon.
Really soon, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. Um, we're a legal tech company, so I'm curious, like for your firm, how much technology do you guys use since you're supporting technology companies to run your business?
Yeah, great question. Certainly a lot. I think that, that's the way the legal industry is moving, trying to make things more efficient. There are certainly legal tech companies that we work with, both
Yeah.
as clients and
Oh, you have
um,
them as clients too, legal tech startups?
yep,
Oh,
yep,
nice. Okay.
legal tech startups. It's really interesting what people are trying to do. There's a lot around contract drafting. There's a lot around not in our world in corporate, but there's a lot around discovery and talked with a company a few weeks ago about sort of like a family law platform. So yeah, there's a lot going on with legal tech. Certainly we use it every day in our practice just to make sure that we're staying organized. We have so many different software
Yeah.
platforms that we use.
Okay. Interesting. And do you don't litigate at all? Any reason to litigate in any of the work you do? Or is it strictly corporate?
Strictly corporate, but we have a roster of litigators whenever there is an issue that we can easily call on.
Yeah.
So most of those have worked with startups, so kind of take the same practical approach that we do and understand early stage fee sensitivity and all that.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine that you might have some issues between the executive team, maybe partnerships and disputes, right? Uh,
Occasionally.
those kind of
Yep.
things. Yeah.
Yep.
And you might have to figure it kind of like family law, right? When it's not a marriage, but you get a business breakup,
Right. Yes.
right?
Unfortunately, yes. There are founder disputes and
Yes.
things pop up over time.
Yeah. No, I've been involved with many over the years. I know, I know it happens. It's almost inevitable that
Yeah.
there will be times when those things will happen. So how are you guys different than other firms that do what you do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of our lawyers came from the bigger law firms that do startup law. So they were trained, they know how to run a venture financing. What's different about us is our approach to client service. So we make sure that we are ultra responsive, that we are, sensitive to what our clients need, that we're really an advisor for everything. I think when companies go to the big law firms, their bills are so high that sometimes they don't necessarily call on their lawyer as often. We want to be an integral part of the team. So, helping, whether that's helping a company choose which professional employment organization they're going to use, or help them make sure that they have a cap table management platform like Carta set up and ready to go. And so we can help with all of those things. And then just day-to-day issues that come up. Clients ask about, how do I enforce this thing in my employee handbook, or I'm trying to get a lab space. How can you help me negotiate this lease? So really just making sure that our clients see us as part of the team. We also have dedicated teams. So whenever we engage a client, it's not just the partner, being the relationship person. I'm an integral part of working with the client. And I have, dedicated associates and dedicated paralegals so that they can build rapport with this client over time, all the way through that exit.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Who are some of the bigger firms that people come from that you mentioned?
Gunderson, Detmer, and Cooley, and Fenwick.
Oh, Cooley,
Warwick.
yeah, Cooley, of course. Yeah, I mean, so they operate much differently, I would imagine. Yeah, they're just much bigger. They got lots of layers and
Yeah, just a different structure.
yeah. Well, that's why I was curious, again, in the startup world, to really align with your client. That's why I was curious, are there some success fees so you're fully aligned with their interests? But it doesn't sound like it.
No, just by the hour.
Yeah. I wonder why that is. I mean, it seemed like that would make sense. Particularly when you're like really starting early, but I guess if you get a big slug of venture capital, it doesn't matter. You got plenty of money. I don't know.
Yeah. The clients tend to, the venture capital helps them certainly pay their legal fees and all of their other fees. But yeah, I think just like other service providers, like if you want to have a good legal team, just like you want to have a good CPA and you want to have, good HR platform or HR person who can run that for you.
Yeah. Well, I know as a vendor, I mean, people are always trying to sort of push you to, take money on the back end or those things. It was really out of curiosity. Again, just wondering. I mean, I've seen other services where they do that, even in the legal tech space, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Plaintiff attorneys, I mean, they get paid on the back end, right?
Yeah.
Litigation financing, et cetera, things like that. So,
yeah.
Anyway, just out of curiosity, is there any like big, like what was the most interesting deal that you worked on? I don't know if you can name names, or curious to know, like one that really stood out that was exciting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of there's certainly a few. Since I've been here almost 10 years, I've definitely helped several companies go all the way through acquisition.
Yeah.
There was a medical device company that we sold a few years ago. That was fantastic. I got to know the founders really well. You knew the investors, knew the board. So it was just great to see that solid exit for them. Had fintech companies that have sold to Stripe. So that's exciting to have
Sure.
a good acquisition like that. So
Yeah.
I think probably the most exciting transactions are the ones where I really have that rapport with the client and have worked with them over time and just are interested in their success.
Yeah. Do most of them get acquired or they go through IPO? Do you have some that go IPO?
Some do, yeah. Our client Expensify went public last year. We don't handle the IPO, just it takes more bodies than we have. So we worked with a different firm
I see.
to handle that part of it.
Got it. Yeah, I would imagine that's a big deal, but most are just through acquisition, M&A.
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah, so the SPAC trend has sort of fallen off.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. SPACs were hot 20 years ago, and then they died, and then they became hot again. So people are always trying to figure out ways to get funded, right?
Right.
And that's really what that was, I think, what that was all about, right?
Yeah. And it's funny how these trends are cyclical. I mean, the 90s fashion is back too. So we'll see.
Oh, is that right?
Same in the legal space.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You should hang on to all those things, right? Those clothes.
Right, exactly. Hang on to that SPAC knowledge and we'll see if it comes back again in 20 years.
Yeah. So wait, that market is dead now, you're saying?
Definitely fewer transactions.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of suspect behavior associated with those.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, I know a few of those where I've seen people involved, and I would certainly never, I would never invest in one myself. It's not transparent enough, right?
Right.
It's not transparent.
Yeah.
So interesting. So what would your advice be to someone that was thinking about doing the kind of law that you do? What would you say?
One thing that I think was really helpful for me was going to a law school that had a focus on entrepreneurship
Mm,
and had a lot of practical legal courses. So I did a clinic in entrepreneurial law where I basically did a lot of the stuff I'm doing now,
yeah,
finding those summer internships, the summer associate positions where you can really get practical experience to hit the ground running. And then just getting an understanding of business subscribing to newsletters. Like Fortune has the term sheet is a great newsletter. There are several newsletters out there that tell you about the deals that are going on, so you can get a sense of, what's happening in the market and be able to speak to it.
oh, that's cool. Yeah, have you ever been tempted to join one of these startups?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great ones, and
Yeah,
a lot of our lawyers in the past have, former partner went in-house at Lyft, and people have gone in-house to Instacart
yeah,
and a bunch of different places. And
sure.
there's certainly a draw there, but I like having more than one client. I think it keeps it interesting, to just, to be working with a bunch of different
Yeah,
companies
I'm
on
trying to
different.
nudge you to get some of that upside. I keep sort of coming back.
You are. I appreciate that. You're looking out.
Are you allowed to invest in any of these businesses, or is there a wall between that?
I haven't. I think there are some ethical considerations, so
Yeah.
I haven't. Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave that alone. All right. I can't help myself. I've been in startups for 30 years, so that I understand the way they work, and I was curious. You're the first Silicon Valley or deal attorney that I've talked to, so it's kind of fun.
That's great. Well, so
Um,
you've been talking mostly with
I mean,
litigators
mostly
and
litigators. Actually, I mean, a whole range. I mean, you mentioned family law. I had someone who did family law today. I've had people from the Solicitor General's office. We've had, I mean, just a whole range of people. So it's pretty fun. I mean, yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm almost getting like going through a training program. Yeah,
are these discussions making you want to be a lawyer, or
no, they're definitely
you're
not
far
making me
away?
want to be a
Okay.
lawyer. That would not be my thing. I don't have the attention span to do it. I like the action and deals, but I certainly appreciate having a good deal attorney. So we'll keep you guys in mind for sure.
Well, thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate it.
So just to wrap it up here, I mean, well, just final, anything you want to leave the audience with about, yourself or your firm and the best way to connect.
Yeah. So if any of your listeners are looking for a great deal attorney, certainly reach out. Or Silicon Legal Strategy. I'm on LinkedIn, Sarah Boulden, or sarah@siliconlegal.com.
Excellent. Sounds good. So we'll call that a wrap here. It's been fun spending time with you. Sarah Boulden again from Silicon Legal Strategy in Denver. And this show is sponsored by EmotionTrac with a C, and we are a legal tech platform. So one of those legal tech platforms, and we help litigators prepare for mediation and trials with our platform. So
Well, thanks so
thank
much
you
for
very
having me.
much. Yeah, thanks,
Take care.
Sarah.
Bye.
All right, bye.